The Galactic Council Hall was huge and bright. Tall beings, small beings, creatures of metal and light filled the seats. At the center stood the humans. They did not look angry. They did not look afraid. The council expected noise. They expected shouting, threats, or begging. Instead, the humans were silent. The human ambassador stood still. His hands were calm. His eyes moved across the room, watching every face. One by one, the council members spoke. They mocked humanity. They called humans weak, emotional, and careless. The words were sharp. The laughter was loud. The ambassador listened to everything. He did not interrupt. He did not defend his people. When the last insult ended, the hall grew quiet. Everyone waited. The human ambassador slowly nodded. Then he turned around. No speech. No warning. Behind him, the other humans followed. Their footsteps echoed across the hall. The council was confused. Some laughed again. Others felt uneasy, but said nothing. Human ships left the station one by one. Their engines burned bright, then vanished into space. Minutes passed, then hours. Across the galaxy, sensors began to fail. Human trade channels went silent. Human outposts stopped responding. No messages, no explanation, only silence. In the council hall, a few members began to worry. This was not a retreat. It felt like a decision. Far from the council, deep in human space, massive doors opened. Old fleets powered up. Systems long forgotten came back online. Humans were not running. They were preparing. And the galaxy did not yet understand that the moment humans walked away, everything had already changed. The Galactic Council did not act at first. They believed the humans were angry. They believed the silence would pass. In the Great Hall, many council members laughed. They said humans were proud, not dangerous. They said humans would return soon, asking for peace. Days went by. Human seats in the council remained empty. Trade officers noticed missing shipments. Medical worlds waited for human supplies that never came. Navigation networks stopped updating. Still, the council delayed. A few older members felt uneasy. They remembered past stories about humans. Stories where silence came before disaster. They asked for emergency meetings. Others ignored them. "This is just a protest," one council leader said. "Humans always talk. They always come back." More days passed. Human embassies across the galaxy shut down. Their lights went dark. Security fields activated and never opened again. The council sent messages. No reply. They sent diplomats. Human systems denied entry. For the first time, fear spread to the chamber. A research team opened ancient archives. Records from long before the council existed. One line appeared again and again. When humans stopped arguing, the galaxy should prepare. The council dismissed it as myth. They voted. The decision was simple. Ignore humanity. Move on without them. The vote passed easily. But the moment the decision was sealed, alarms rang out. A distant star system collapsed into chaos. Pirates attacked without fear. Defense fleets failed to respond. The systems once protected by humans were breaking apart. In the silent council hall, no one spoke. Because deep down they knew the truth. The humans were not sulking. They were stepping away. And the galaxy was about to learn why that was the most dangerous thing humans could ever do. The changes were slow at first, small enough to ignore, easy to explain away. A trade route failed here. A defense signal vanished there. The Galactic Council blamed pirates. They blamed old systems and bad luck. But the problems kept spreading. Human engineers were gone. No one repaired the jump gates they once maintained. Navigation beacons drifted out of alignment. Ships were lost in empty space. Border worlds felt it first. Without human patrols, raiders grew bold. Colonies burned while calls for help went unanswered. The council sent fleets. They arrived too late. Human-made weapons stopped working without updates. Medical machines shut down. Even food systems failed. Many worlds realized something too late. Humans were not just allies. They were the backbone of the galaxy. In quiet corners of space, rumors spread. Old captains whispered in spaceports. Scientists argued in closed rooms. Monks studied ancient star maps. They all spoke of the same thing. Humans were watchers. They kept balance. Without them, something else was moving. Deep space scanners detected strange signals. Not human, not alien, ancient. The council received a report and buried it. They did not want panic. But the signals grew stronger. On a distant observation station, a lone sensor officer froze. The readings matched forbidden records. Something sealed long ago was waking up. The officer sent one final message to the council. The Guardians are gone. The silence is not peace. The message was received and ignored. Far beyond the council's reach, human fleets moved in perfect order. They were not heading toward the galaxy. They were heading toward the dark, towards something the galaxy was never meant to face alone. Fear finally reached the Galactic Council. It did not arrive as panic. It arrived as numbers. Entire systems stopped reporting. Defense fleets vanished without battle logs. Stars once bright were now silent. Emergency meetings filled the council hall. Voices overlapped. Accusations flew. Some blamed pirates. Others blamed rival species. A few spoke the word no one wanted to hear. Humans. At first, the idea was rejected. Humans had not attacked anyone. They had not made demands. They had simply left. A senior archivist stepped forward. He carried data from forgotten vaults. Records sealed for thousands of cycles. The council allowed him to speak. The truth was uncomfortable. Humans were invited into the galaxy long ago for a reason. Not for strength. Not for numbers, but for awareness. They noticed things others could not. Patterns in deep space. Movements beyond normal time. Humans found the ancient threat first. They fought it. They sealed it away. And they stayed. Not as rulers. Not as heroes. As guards. The silence from human space was not retreat. It was release. The seals were weakening. Human fleets were not running. They were repositioning. A junior council member whispered, "What happens when the guards leave?" No one answered. At that moment, every council screen activated. A single signal filled the room. Old, cold. The translation system struggled, then succeeded. The watchers have turned away. The cycle resumes. The lights dimmed. The hall fell silent. For the first time in its history, the Galactic Council understood the cost of arrogance. They had mocked the Guardians. They had laughed at silence. And now, something ancient had noticed, that no one was standing in its way anymore. The galaxy was no longer stable. Worlds burned without warning. Defense lines collapsed in hours. Entire fleets disappeared into dark space. The ancient threat moved freely now. It did not rush. It did not fear resistance. It knew no one could stop it. The Galactic Council broke. Emergency signals flooded every channel. Panic replaced pride. For the first time, the council spoke with one voice. They called for humans. They sent apologies. They sent offers of power, territory, and control. They promised respect. Days passed. No reply. As the threat advanced, planets evacuated. Refugees crowded space stations. Food and air became weapons. The council sent one final message. Not as rulers, not as leaders, as beggars. The message reached human space. This time, a response came. Only one transmission. No image, no emotion, just words. You chose silence for us. Now learn to survive it. The message ended. The council was divided. Some screamed in anger. Others collapsed in relief. Because humans had answered, which meant they were still watching. Far from the council, human fleets changed formation. Ancient weapons unlocked. Systems powered up that had never been used before. Humans did not rush to save the galaxy. They waited. They studied the enemy's movement. They measured the cost. Humans would act only once. On a distant world, the ancient threat reached a human-made barrier. It slowed. For the first time, it hesitated, because it sensed something familiar. The Guardians had not returned yet, but they were very close. And when humans finally moved, the galaxy would understand. Why silence was never weakness. The moment came without warning. Across the galaxy, sensors spiked. Space itself seemed to tighten. Human fleets emerged from hidden paths. They did not announce themselves. They did not speak. They moved with perfect control. The ancient threat turned toward them. It recognized a pattern. It remembered defeat. Human weapons activated. Not loud, not bright, precise. Entire enemy structures collapsed in seconds. Where the threat tried to adapt, humans were already ahead. Every move was expected. The battle ended quickly. Too quickly. The galaxy watched in silence as the ancient threat was sealed again. This time deeper. This time permanent. Human fleets did not celebrate. They turned toward the Galactic Council. A single human ship approached the council station. No weapons aimed. No threat spoken. The human ambassador appeared on screen. He looked the same. Calm. Unmoved. You asked for help, he said. We gave you time to understand. The council tried to speak. The channel closed. Human fleets began to leave. Not in anger. Not in pride. In finality. They removed their systems from the galaxy. Trade networks shut down forever. Defense grids went dark. The galaxy survived, but it was alone now. Centuries later, the Council archives recorded one truth. Humans never ruled the galaxy. They protected it. And when they walked away quietly, they did not doom the galaxy. They taught it a lesson it would never forget. Respect is not demanded. It is earned before the silence begins.